Hey everybody, welcome back to another little art video. Obviously, I know it's been a while. I'm still trying to get the hang of doing more consistent art content over here since this is only about that. But because I am very busy with a plethora of projects and 3 channels to run, I apologize for the inconsistencies and the lack of videos recently. I'm working on getting a better schedule. While my first video back was about how I do thumbnails, this video is going to be about comic books. While that video had many inclinations to my gaming channel, this one will be about my own original projects that I want to work on, and also as a newcomer, how I got into doing comic books, and as a beginner, the tips and tricks that I had to learn while doing them, keyword digitally, that I can give you for your own central projects in the future if you want to do comic books yourselves. Now, I'm not super qualified because I do not have that much experience, but because I'm a beginner, and as a beginner, I would be in the same wavelength as you guys, I figured it'd be not that bad. Now, comic books, like animation or in general, have multiple bits that make them what they are, with multiple jobs that make up a comic book. A writer, illustrator, concept artist, storyboard artist, penciler, inker, colorist, background artist, paneler, and so on and so forth. All of these jobs, despite this being very complicated, are super essential to making a comic book, but I don't want you guys to get discouraged like I was at first. It doesn't always hurt to ask for help and having somebody that knows certain things about a comic book. It doesn't hurt to ask for help from friends, especially those that are artists that actually have some certain skills in certain medias. Like if you know someone that's a good inker, or someone that's a good background artist, or maybe one that's a good writer. Having help could be essential if you don't want to be drained by doing it all yourself like I did. So learning each one of these jobs can be a key component. Now, obviously, when it comes to writing, it's very self-explanatory, but don't get discouraged if you're not really that good of a writer. You do not have to be Stephen King or graphic novel quality. You just have to have a very good story and characters that can be relatable, that can pull the audience in. It's a big reason why characters like Spider-Man and Batman are so well known. So making something like that for any medium is really essential. Now getting into the concept art phase, this is an essential thing that not many people do too much, but it really is essential to making a comic, and not in the way that you might think. When doing concept art, it isn't just about doing certain story things. It's mainly about having a good idea of your characters, how they're going to look. Especially if you're going to be drawing them from different angles and different poses in a comic, finding a good way to simplify them and also having an iconic design as well is a key thing that you need to do. You're going to be drawing these characters a lot, and you have to have a good idea of how to draw them over and over from different angles and different poses. So concept arting them and actually preparing yourself to have a good understanding of what these characters are going to be, whether it's a fan-made project that's original or a fan comic based on an existing franchise. And in that case, having photo reference nearby to take from is a key factor. This way you're not losing track of the design that you're basing your illustrations on, regardless of you doing it in your own style. Now, once you got the concept art and your characters figured out, now you can actually take the writing side and the storytelling drawing side and mash them together with storyboarding. This is something that I really had to learn, that not many artists in the comic book media do too much now, but it's something that is essential. Not only to have a good placement of your storytelling, but also where your characters are going to be, and also how you're telling your story. Making your own panel placement for your storytelling is essential, and that's what storyboarding does. It gives you a good idea of your story in the rough draft stage. This way you can expand on it later on as you refine in your later stages. You do not have to rely on the old school black boxes and immediately go into the already having pre-existing comic book panels. Now getting into penciling, it's like any drawing that you do fan art wise, the name speaks for itself. It's basically more expanding on your rough draft that was your storyboard and having a better anatomy based of your character. It's more expanding on the rough draft, penciling that anatomy, having a good structure that you can go and ink later on. But don't be afraid to do multiple penciled layers. Refining as you go along is the key factor. Just like with any fan art project,